Tonight we're talking about Arizona corruption, murders in Tent City, and other abuses. Welcome to the show, Alison, and let me unmute. Go ahead and unmute her. Okay.
Florida.
Welcome to the show, Alison. You there?
I am here, and thank you for having me again on your show.
Oh, my
Jim.
God, it's already 10 till. I guess we're going to be going possibly overtime tonight.
Well, that's okay. We know my story. I mean, we know what happened to me in Tent City. People go on my website. We know people die in Tent City. It's a desert. It's a county jail, and it's inhumane. People are not even convicted yet. They're sitting there. They're waiting, and he uses the media. He's a media hound. He's the sickest. The sickest.
Why don't we just call it like it is? This is he's a media whore. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, he's a media whore. And there's innocent people in there that are dying. They don't get medical attention. There's pigeon poop, mice, cockroaches, brown recluses can kill. It's worse than the West Nile virus. And
again, not all the prisoners there are convicted criminals.
Oh.
There are people that have been picked up for maybe minor infractions, maybe driving without a license. You know, granted that might be stupid,
a speeding
but
ticket.
yeah, I mean, granted, yeah.
99% are probation violations. This is what I want to get across on your show tonight. He says people don't want to come back because it's so horrible here. Maricopa County. I come from a family of attorneys. You cannot be at 3 places at the same time and you end up back in Tent City. You must get this across to your listeners because I had money. My parents helped my kids. They never cared about my kids. CPS they never came out. It wasn't child abuse. But he is a liar.
Well, we heard the audio. You heard him in the town hall meeting. We got the video of it posted to people on our website if people want to see it. We downloaded it in case YouTube removes it. Arapile is on record. He's called his Tent City a concentration camp. Isn't that what the Germans had? And
yep.
He is also on video denying that he ever referred to or called it as such. Well, we got to hold on, Alison. I believe we got Gloria and a couple other people from Arizona. So let me see. All I can see on the board is Arizona. Arizona, I hope this is Gloria. You're on Freedom Fighter Radio. You there?
Yes, I'm here, Jim. Thank you.
Okay. And let's see who else we have in Arizona in case there's some of our other people, and we'll just ask them to introduce themselves and hold on till we acknowledge them to speak. Another Arizona. Arizona, you're on. Who we have on the line? Hello, Arizona. Well, I'll mute them. They're probably maybe it's Arizona listening. My phone, which you can do. And another Arizona caller. Arizona, go ahead. Okay, they're probably recording the call. Well, anyway, before we get started, we did also mention that we will be addressing Bill Windsor of Lawless America as well. And we do want to begin the show by saying that Bill Windsor of Lawless America has personally been invited by a phone call from me personally, to come on and defend himself on the show against his accusations that you, Alison A. Hicks, are incoherent when you speak, and that you've threatened him, that you cyber-stalked him as well. Isn't that freaking amazing? But we'll get into Bill Windsor later, who basically appears to have stabbed you in the back. He's become a Benedict Arnold. Pardon?
Wait, I press like on every one of his
right, but we're going to get into that we're going to hold on to that into the second half of the show, but we'll keep people in suspense. Maybe Bill Windsor will listen in. Maybe he'll call in. I don't know.
Bill Windsor.
Yeah, but let's talk about Gloria. Gloria, you got a horrific. And by the way, did I mention? Pardon?
I cyber-stalked him by giving him, like, positive feedback?
Well, this is what he said. He's personally told me in a phone call, and I can prove that he's made these claims about you. If he says I'm lying about him, Bill.
Okay, you know what? Look on Facebook. I pressed like up until August 15th.
Well,
I don't know.
Does Bill Windsor support Arpaio? Hello? Alison?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Does Bill Windsor support Arpaio?
I'm sure he does.
Well, let's get into Gloria. Gloria, you got a horrible case. And by the way, Tin City even has kept people that
cyber-stalk someone.
Pardon?
How would I cyber-stalk someone? I don't even know.
I know. Well, we're going to address that in a minute, Alison. But let's get into Gloria's story in Arpaio here, and then we're going to get Bill Windsor on the back end. By the way, people, Tin City has also got inmates there that have been incarcerated since the age of 7 years old. For 15 years, Tin City has held illegals. Now, look, man, if you're going to hold an illegal, deport them. A 7-year-old child crosses the border with adults, and they hold him till he's 22. Outrageous. Gloria, you got an outrageous story as well to share in regarding your son. Just go at it. Tell us everything you want to say tonight to the listeners that are listening live by stream or listening to the archive. What do you have to say about this Arizona corruption, Arpaio, and all this? Go ahead.
Okay, Jim. Our story starts back in 2009 when my son, who's of Navajo and Lakota descent, he's 100% Native American, and he witnessed a couple fighting, and he went over there to try to break it up. The man was pretty enraged, and he attacked his girlfriend, and he was stabbing her in the neck and shoulders with a beer bottle. So he runs over there to try to, calm him down, and the guy turns on him, attacks him. So the fight goes into the pool, all over the pool, in and out of the water. My son and his girlfriend get away. They run up to their apartment, and up there they're looking for their phone. Everybody's highly intoxicated at this point, and in comes the perpetrator again, and he attacks my son right there in the apartment. So they have a huge battle. It takes place in the apartment, and my son was pretty much on the bottom. This is an older man, and he's, laying on top of him and trying to kill him, basically wanted to kill my kid. So, the beer bottle's going down onto my son's neck, and he's laying on top of it, pushing it down. My son is only defense is holding his hands up to the beer bottle while it's cutting his tendon and ligaments in his hand. And so they wrestled like that for I don't know how many minutes. Finally, my son reaches over and grabs a bottle and, is able to get this person off of him. And the man crawls out of the apartment, and they're trying to find the phone. And the next knock at the door was Tempe PD SWAT team. They come rushing in, and they pretty much had the guns on them, and they were waiting for him to raise the table leg, which he was holding like a bat, and he didn't know who they were. He said he thought it was the person coming back after him again. So he, they were ready to shoot him. They were ready to kill him. And this is...
Oh, yeah, we know how trigger-happy these people are. We remember the case of Jose Garina shot 60 or 70-something times by Pima County. But, yeah, go ahead.
So this is handled by the Tempe PD. No one else gets arrested.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying in Arizona, it seems like multiple counties, the SWAT teams are trigger-happy is what I'm saying in Arizona. Yeah. It's a typical... attitude of people that are Nazis, but go ahead.
Yeah, so basically he, just probably by the grace of God, I know by the grace of God that he did not get killed that night. So he gets hauled off into the ambulance, and nobody else gets arrested. Nothing. No investigation is done. My son is charged for everything. And so, at this point, I'm pretty naive. I'm thinking, there's justice, and, the public defender is going to do his job. The courts are going to be, the truth is going to come out. We kept praying, the truth will set you free. We kept praying that, and then when we sat there, my son and I and his girlfriend May, we're all sitting there and in the trial, and it was just, oh my God, it was horrible. It just started to unravel that, everything was starting to be suppressed. The witnesses were not allowed to come in. They were just telling stories of, how they were jumping 7 feet to get away from my son, and the jury was not even, they were not even listening to anything my son said. Everything was just totally, it's just totally biased and prejudiced. And this was right before SB 1070, and oh, it was awful to just watch. We sat there and just couldn't believe it. So then the public defender pulled me aside at one point during the trial, and he says, guess what? The witnesses called in. They felt very guilty and very sad that they weren't able to testify on behalf of your son. I said, why is that? And he says, well, apparently Andrew Thomas had called them and called on them at their apartment, threatened them, and told them, you show up for Anthony LaPointe's trial, you will be sorry. You will be sorry, and you do not show up. And they were afraid. They were terrified. But for whatever reason, they did call in to the public defender's office, and he got the message. And this was him telling me himself, and I was just so shocked. And so while we're sitting there, the officers come in, they give their testimony. Everybody did that, and they all left. Well, then one stayed behind, and for whatever reason, he sat there, and they took a break. And so him and the prosecutor go out, and they're standing out there talking, and they come back in, and everything changed. The officer was just sitting there smirking at us, looking over his shoulder, laughing and shaking his head, and we were like, what happened? I knew then something was going really, really wrong. In the meantime, my son had kept telling me, Mom, help me. Oh my God, this is, get me an attorney, this is going wrong. It's not going to work. You've got to help me. And like I said, I was extremely naive. I thought I just had so much faith in this whole system. I really did. I could not believe what was unfolding. And the real clincher was when the prosecutor stood up and he was walking in front of the jury. There were nothing but blue-haired, 90-year-old white women and men. And there was only one Hispanic man. There were no Native Americans.
So he basically was denied his constitutional right of a jury to be judged by a jury of his peers.
Right. And he had never seen a plea bargain. He's seen the first one. The first one was conveyed to him. The second one was not. And so he said that right there was when the public defender told him, no, don't sign nothing. You do not sign nothing. We are taking this to trial. And he was like, let me see the plea bargain. Let me look at it. No, he said no, he would not show it. He never saw it. And that was the more favorable plea bargain that was given to him. And so it goes to trial. And then right there, that's when the prosecutor stood up. And this really, it hit me like a bat when I heard him doing this. He walked around the courtroom. The judge was so prejudiced. She was just hating on my son. Every time he tried to speak, she'd tell him, shut up, sit down. I mean, she was just so, oh my gosh, I was wondering, where is this coming from? She was so unprofessional. So he walks up and down with this paper, and he says, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, and he's holding this paper up in his hand. He says, I want to tell you that Andrew Thomas himself, I have a letter here from Andrew Thomas himself recommending that you put Anthony LaPointe in prison for life. And we were like, oh my God, I had heard about him. But, you know, you're so busy in life, you just kind of like blow it off because, you know, it doesn't pertain to you. You're just doing your own thing. And, you know, suddenly your kid is falling into this trap, and now you're like, what? I just couldn't believe it. So anyway, that's what happened. But the big thing here was that witnesses contradicted and impeached their testimony. The witnesses were suppressed. The DNA was probably, we're pretty sure, is destroyed by Tempe PD, and that was in my son's favor and would have most likely have given him a favorable outcome. And because they said that, you know, he cut himself up and staged a whole fight in the park.
Well, hold on. We're going to be right back with more. We're going to go into a break. We'll be right back, and you're listening to Freedom Fighter Radio. Take more of your calls. I got a bunch of people streaming from Arizona. We'll be right back after this and a few important announcements here on Freedom Fighter Radio. And we are back again talking about crimes in Arizona. We covered in the first 20 minutes the Arapaho Nazi connections. That's right, Arapaho openly endorsing Russell Pierce, who ordained a Nazi into the cult known to the American public that Mitt Romney is also a member of, called the Mormon Church. And yes, I'm no fan of Obama either. Both parties are destroying this nation. Well, we're back. Again, our website is freedomfighterradio.net. Just want to give you a quick reminder. This coming Thursday night, the executive director of the JPFO, Jews for the Preservation of Firearms Ownership, Charles Heller, will be on our show. We'll be talking about the gun control push and how gun-free zones create target-rich environments. That's right, a gun-free zone sure worked well in Colorado, didn't it? Yes, right. A gun-free zone just enhanced the tragedy. And Tuesday of next week, we'll be having Larry Platt, President of Gun Owners of America, addressing the same subject. And Thursday of next week, we'll be featuring Jeff Ross, a conservative activist in Florida. He's a retired Master Chief with the United States Navy. God bless all you veterans out there. Unlike InfoWars, I'm proud of the men and women that put on the uniform to defend us against these pieces of crap that want to destroy our country. Well, we got Alison back. We got Gloria. And also, anything you hear on our show, if you like the archive of the show, you have a problem obtaining it, if you want links to some of the information we share, you can email me at contact@freedomfighterradio.net. With that being said, we got another Arizona. I don't know if they're listening by, we got a lot of people listening by phone tonight from Arizona. So, Arizona, I just unmuted you. Go ahead, Arizona. Arizona, go ahead.
Talk, Ellie.
Okay, you're unmuted, then you can go ahead. Arizona, go ahead. Okay, Arizona, go ahead. Arizona, go ahead. Okay, well, we're going to keep them muted.
Okay.
And with that being said, Alison, we are
okay.
back.
I'm back with you. I actually have. Are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Go ahead.
Okay. I have a guy named David Irons here that would like just to make a brief comment.
Yeah, why don't you? And I know who David Irons is. Why don't you give him a proper and appropriate introduction, Alison?
Okay. David Irons is a judicial accountable task force, and he's sitting by my side, and he would like to talk to you about the system, and I'm going to give you the phone over to him right now.
And Alison, I would like him, before he talks about the system, I'd like him, obviously he's been here in the beginning of the show, right? I'd like to get his comments on anything he's already heard on the show to include what we stated about Arapaho, Russell Pierce, and J.T. Reddy, Jan Brewer, all these people, this cabal of Nazis and Nazi sympathizers in Arizona. Go ahead.
Hi, Jim. How you doing?
Oh, great, man. Pretty heavy show. I know we're one of the only websites that are addressing and taking on, I should say, today, I think we're the hardest, we're taking on the hardest line against Airpile in Tent City, and I'm pledging to you, David, Alison, and Gloria, and all the people that follow my website, freedomfighterradio.com, I'm pledging from here on out, with the same fervor I've gone against the Islamic enemy, I will be devoting just as much attention and time as much as possible as people can share information with me. We'll be taking on Tent City and Airpile because it's got to go, it's got to be shut down, and I believe people need to go to jail. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to wake people up because it's out of sight, out of mind. Most people never see the torture that is going on inside Tent City and prisons all over the United States.
So talk to me about it, David. I'm giving you an open mic, so I'm going to just let you loose. Go ahead.
Okay. Right now, we have the highest number of incarcerated persons of any country, anywhere in the world.
Absolutely,
in fact,
more than China and Russia combined, in fact.
Isn't that amazing? And
yeah, isn't it amazing, the land of the free?
More than any country in history. Now,
right. Isn't that amazing? And we're supposed to be the land of the free, right?
The land of the free. Isn't it wonderful to live in the land of the free?
And most of the people in jail are victimless, are criminals with, they haven't had any victims in the crime they committed. But go ahead.
Yes, absolutely. And 70% of the people in jail right now are there for victimless crimes. Yeah. How can there be a crime if there is no victim? How can that happen? How did this happen? It is a crime against the state, against the people of the state, which is absurd. I mean, who was hurt? Who was injured by this crime? My Aunt Mary.
Right.
Like
your
Uncle Joe, was he injured?
Porch.
Yeah. How about the judge? Was he injured? Apparently, there was some official somewhere that felt that they had been offended by someone. But when we have unlimited power, it corrupts, and in every case. In fact, if you take the best people and put them in a position where they have this kind of power over other people, they tend to turn into jerks themselves.
It becomes a psychological drug. It's a psychological drug. Power is to the mind like drugs are to your metabolism.
It is. It's in the system itself. And even if we did have good people in this system, they would soon become as corrupt as everybody else. We've done mock trials where we have somebody that is really a patriot act as the judge. And strangely enough, even when we're doing a mock trial, the judge turns into a jerk. He turns into a tyrant. And in many cases, these people are friends of mine. So it goes to show that in this system, nobody is safe. And what really amazes me about Alison's case is that if this could happen to a suburban mom living in a cul-de-sac with a 6-year-old living this Disneyland life, who's safe?
Absolutely.
Nobody's safe out there.
Well, you know what?
If Alison Hicks could be thrown in jail for these trumped-up charges, then it can happen to anybody. It could happen to you. It could happen to me.
Well, it already has happened to me. What are you talking about? I mean, I was arrested in Columbia County. I don't want to get into the whole story because it's on my bio, on my About section. I was arrested for almost 4 years. It will be 4 years in November for flying upside down in Columbia County, and I was arrested by dozens of officers at gunpoint in Columbia County, Georgia. And, of course, the judge luckily threw that case out and been harassed by the police, and I get death threats all the time. I got one of them threats all the time posted on my website. They choose to ignore this. So what do we do, David, when we have two truths and two justices? Because, like in my state, Georgia, we had a guy by the name of Judge Van Camp. I don't know if you've heard about that. A federal district judge in Atlanta and Carrollton, Georgia, got caught with illegal weapons, prostitutes, and drugs, and he got sentenced to, are you ready for this? 30 days in jail. And I bet he didn't serve all 30 days.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? There was a story back in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, when I lived there, of a local judge that was busted with a huge amount of cocaine. And, of course, when they found out it was a judge, they apologized and gave his cocaine back.
All right.
In Tennessee, that's kind of expected. I mean, the corruption is so much a part of the system that people just expect that that's just the way we do things around here. You know, if you're a good old boy, then you get a break, and if you're not a good old boy, they're going to bury you underneath the jail.
So what's the solution, David? We've got the problem identified. We got
the
problem identified.
The one thing they're afraid of is their crimes to be exposed to the general public. Go into court, act as a court watcher, record what you see, put it on the internet. Do what you're doing right now, letting as many people as possible. I think Alison's movie is absolutely dynamite. It's got everything in it: corruption and sex and violence and all those things that people love in movies. and it's an incredible story. If this thing could happen to someone like Alison Hicks, then it can happen to absolutely anybody at all. You know, here's a woman that thought she had a nice, safe Disneyland life that suddenly, and all of a sudden, it just was turned absolutely upside down, and she's thrown into this horrible system. People need to realize it's not somebody else out there. It could be you. People tend to think in terms of them versus us, but those people in jail are really not that much different than you and I. Well, obviously, they're the same as you and I. I'm just lucky I haven't been thrown in jail yet, but I've had some close calls.
Well, I have. I'm just holding cell for a few hours, 11 hours for flying the flag upside down. Can you imagine that? And I was even arrested for accidentally posting the wrong picture of someone on my website. Accidentally.
Frankly, you cannot get up in the morning without violating the Patriot Act. It's impossible to get through the day without doing something that could get you arrested. In fact, even the sheriffs have said themselves, you know, if we want to, we're going to find some way to get you in jail.
Well,
so if you're not passive enough for them, they will find a way to throw you in jail.
Wow. And speaking of the increased police state, on a side note, I do want to let our listeners know, because there's not very many people talking about that, but a bill passed that is going to allow 30,000 drones to be added to police departments across this country. And that bill was supported by Mark Rubio, Don Micah, Alan West, yes, Alan West, and you won't believe this, people, Paul Ryan, Mitt Romney's VP choice for president, voted to allow 30,000 plus drones to be flown over the United States. Of course, the Democrats did too. So I just want to throw that out there. We do have it on our website if you want to read about this as well. So with that being said, what's your thoughts about Eric Pyle's Nazi connections? Russell Pierce, Jan Brewer, who's also had a hands-off on Quartzsite. I don't know if you heard that, but, you know, a city council that's been voted out, but yet the police are keeping them in power. What's that?
Nothing surprises me anymore. The level of corruption is such that it's expected nowadays. We need to have, first we need to have good people in government, and second, we need to have people in government that have the skills to be able to get something done once they're in there. I'm an elected public official. I'm on the county executive committee for the Republican Party, and I can see how corrupt that organization is. And working as a delegate is probably the very first elected position that a person is going to have, and when people first become a delegate, you can see how they're absorbed by the system. They're coerced into supporting somebody that they did not support. I mean, the first thing that happens after the primaries are over is everybody on the party is supposed to get behind whatever corrupt politician that they decided to appoint is our next leader. In this case, it's Romney versus Obama, and we're supposed to support Romney because it's a lesser evil than
well, why don't we write somebody
Obama.
in? Why don't we write somebody in? Terry Jones, Ron Paul. Why don't we write somebody in? And it's not. I don't think it's throwing our vote away because, remember it was in 1917 that a third party did come in one time in U.S. history, the Bull Moose Party, Teddy Roosevelt.
Well, frankly, Ron Paul would have been the president if it was really a matter of a fair election and the most popular candidate being elected. The fact is that they're not just simply going to allow us to elect this corrupt this corrupt system out of office. It's going to have to be done another way. But we need people that are better educated, better informed, and not as apathetic as people are all over the United States. But people have been so dumbed down by our public fool system that frankly most people don't have the intelligence to figure out what's going on around them. There seems to be maybe 20% of the people that don't seem to be susceptible to brainwashing, and you're certainly one of those people. I'm one of those people, and it's terribly frustrating for us that are able to see through the lies. They have to deal with the other 80% that just literally are asleep. At one time when you debated with people, they'd argue with you. Now they kind of like go into another world for a minute and like they've sort of spaced out, and then they go on with what they're doing like nothing had happened. And I think that people are conditioned to do that. By all the advertising that we have around, they have this ability to filter out those things that don't fit with their version of reality or what they don't want.
Oh, yeah, it's like the society in that movie, Demolition Man. And we'll be right back talking to David Irons as well. We'll be right back after another break here. You're listening to Freedom Fighter Radio, the most hardcore show against government abuse and tyranny. People, it's all about we the people. We have the power. There's more of us than there is of them. Wake up, get off the fluoride, get off the GMO food, and quit watching the television. We'll be right back. And we're back. We're back. Now, soon and rapidly becoming Airpile's worst internet nightmare, Freedom Fighter Radio. We're going to stay on top of you, Airpile. People, the love of God is to hate evil. And Tent City and Airpile are so very, very evil. In fact, evil. The greatest evil is not just Airpile and Tent City. You know what's even more evil about all this that we're hearing tonight? It's not just Airpile. He's an evil that bastard, a walking heart attack, but God, man, that'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? Read about him in the obituary tomorrow. Well, anyway, the greatest evil is you people out there. If you become aware of this information, and you want to continue to live in denial, like a child that caught your parents putting a present under the Christmas tree. I'm sorry, but your parents were Santa Claus, and you want to still say they're Santa Claus. I'm sorry, Alison. That's right. Your mom and dad are Santa Claus. But anyway, people, the greatest evil is those people that continue to prop up these evil bastards. Frederick Douglass said, the levels of a tyrant are prescribed by the endurance of those they oppress. 1862. People, it's time to develop a zero-tolerance policy against injustice, tyranny, and police abuse. And God bless you people in Anaheim. You're doing the right thing. With that being said, we are back. Alison, Gloria, and I'm going to try another Arizona call again. Arizona, not Gloria, Arizona, but the other Arizona, go ahead. You're on Freedom Fighter Radio. Are you there?
Patty.
Now's your chance to speak or forever be muted.
Hello?
Okay, I guess you don't want to speak, Alison. They're probably streaming by the phone, which you can do. The show is downloadable as well. And also, man, we're running a special on burning lasers. That's right. Our lasers can destroy surveillance cameras, but we're not saying to do that. We don't condone using the lasers you buy from Freedom Fighter Radio to destroy surveillance cameras, even though they can do it. Cause permanent destruction. Don't do it. That's my disclaimer, so they can't say, oh, you're saying to go out and do it. Actually, I think it'd be pretty funny personally, but I'm not condoning it. With that being said, we are back, and Alison, I know the last couple shows, man, we haven't had a show in a couple weeks. We had some technical problems, but which happens from time to time. You know, hopefully we'll get the support one day to build a regular TV radio studio, do this 4 or 5 hours a day, and be a little bit more professional and put a little small staff together and maybe get on AM radio. I don't think there's an AM radio station that can handle me. I don't think there's an AM radio station that's got the guts. They're probably afraid of being bombed or sued or something. I don't know. But anyway, Alison, we're back with David Irons and Gloria. Gloria, welcome back to Freedom Fighter Radio. And again, our email is contact@freedomfighterradio.net. Again, our website, man, we encourage you to subscribe to our RSS feed. Subscribe to our RSS feed. And again, man, we're talking about crimes and corruption in Arizona, formerly known as Arizona. And again, man, Alison, I just want to thank you for coming on. And maybe we can touch about William Windsor real quick too. And again, man,
yes,
I'm proud to be an armed infidel crusader against the Borg. You've seen the Borg, right? Have you seen Star Trek, David?
I do. David's right by me, but I do not understand. I worked my butt off for Bill.
No, I want to ask you something. First of all, have you seen the Borg? You know what the Borg is, right?
No.
David, you know who the Borg is at Star Trek, right?
The Borg from Star Trek?
Yeah. Well, we're calling the Borg. You remember the Borg? Those like they're half human, half robot, kind of. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Like 80% of the Americans. Yeah, good point.
Well, you know what? Borg is the beast organized religion of government. The Borg, it is, okay? The Borg, the beast organized religion of government. Anyway.
I do have a solution. You're talking about solutions. I am on the board of directors for the Sherman Institute. And the Sherman Institute is the sort of college that us patriots have always wanted to have. We accept absolutely no government funding whatsoever. You can get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, a PhD. We have classes in public policy administration and naturopathic health and theology.
Wow.
And
I'm going to have to talk to you about that off the air, man.
Okay, tremendous. I'd be glad to tell you about it, and it's at ShermanInstitute.com. So take a look at our website.
I'm going to personally talk to you on another day. I want to personally and have Alison email me your number. or she can give you my number.
Wonderful.
I want to talk to you about that. I'd like to get in on that. But Alison, you were saying I had you accidentally muted, sweetheart. So go ahead, Alison. We're back.
Yeah, I'm back. What I wanted to talk about Bill from Lawless Law. I worked really hard for him, and he slammed me. I mean.
Oh yeah, I spoke to him personally. He personally said that you're incoherent and you're cyber stalking him and you threatened him.
Wait, I have.
I got the proof. I have the documented proof. But go ahead.
David is here. I pressed like up until August 15th. Every email, every radio show I've done, I'm not incoherent. I don't know. Maybe Sheriff Joe got to him. I don't know what happened to him. Maybe I didn't give him a donation like the $5,000 that Bill gave him. And he got mad. He's got more money than he stays in $300 hotels.
Or did he threaten to take legal action against you for contacting him? And I understand you're asking for the video. You're asking for the video that was done, right?
Do you know, I talked to Ron Kiney today, that's still a member, and he said that he put a picture of me sitting on his lap and said I called him at 4 o'clock in the morning. Untrue. Totally untrue. All I did is try to help him. And I got like 3 calls from Phoenix, Arizona, from people that wanted me to help him promote his movie, like say Gloria and Patty. You know, people that died in Tent City. And I my last conversation with Bill from Lawless Law, the only thing I did is I asked for a copy of the video. I didn't deserve that. I do get a little bit nervous on radio shows. I think that the last radio show I did with Patrick, he helped me like you do. You know, when you're on TV, you get a little nervous. But I never got a copy of that tape. And he went on.
Wait! Stop right there. I understand you had a signed contract, did you not, on this?
I did, but my signed contract was I was a volunteer and I was guaranteed on his movie.
Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. You have a contract that guaranteed you a slot.
Guaranteed.
And you committed time. We understand time is money when you could have been out there earning a living, maybe giving some new tennis lessons or doing whatever to earn money. So you volunteered time, which time is money, and he's what? Is he refusing to give you a copy of what the contract calls for?
Not only refusing, he's liable. He I can't use the word slander. I spoke with my attorney. Wait,
slander. Let me quote him. Okay, you're incoherent. You threatened him, and you're cyber stalking him. He's personally told me that, and I can provide in a court of law the documented proof on that.
And I did.
I know, but you said he didn't slander you. So I'm telling you, this is what he said about you. So if it's not true, then he was offered the opportunity to come on the show tonight, but he declined.
Had someone else come on.
He wimped out. He's a wuss, okay? And I'm saying a wuss because hell, if someone was saying I was lying about him, I would definitely want to come on and challenge him. But he didn't want to do that. He's afraid to come on and take questions, and I would have given him equal time, uninterrupted, let him go for 5 minutes, and then let you go for 5 minutes, and vice versa.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
And when I was on his show, he wanted me to write up a whole sentence, or like 3-page article on Sheriff Joe Arpaio. I want Sheriff Joe Arpaio on my show, and it's all on my website, www.backspinmymovie.com. I will not take down his website until after the lawsuit. He is he admitted he's on painkillers. And he's got.
Well, it's still not an excuse. If he can't have control of his mental faculties, then he needs to take a break.
So he's a one-man show. So what if I called? He started the fight.
He drew my blood, right?
He pushed my buttons, and I don't know what possessed him. Ron Kiney, who was on death row, he pushed his buttons. And he did 2 shows with him. And I can mention Ron Kiney's name because Ron's one of my best friends. He was cynical. He made fun of Ron Kiney. And Ron Kiney was in New Mexico when a murder happened. He hates some people, and then he turns like a switch.
Right.
And you know what? I've been through so much. Stuntman Randy, I know he's on Facebook. He's one of my best friends. He has backed me, and if anyone wants to look up on Facebook, Stuntman Randy, he has just done the most incredible backing for me. Like
well,
you.
Let me ask you, Alison. Let me ask you, what is Bill Lawless or Bill Windsor email in case people are listening to this and they would like to email it with what they're hearing?
Let's see, number 5, Bill Lawless. Hold on.
Yeah, no, pull it up.
Okay, it's Bill at lawlessamerica.com, and his phone number is 770-578-1094.
Okay. Again, I'm not responding. Yeah, again, that's our guest. Well, you know what? Now, has he? Wow.
He threatened me criminal charges. I'm reading it.
Read him on the air. Read what he's accused you of. Go ahead.
See you in court. Cease and desist all contact, or I will notify AOL or abuse, and I will file criminal charges against you. AOL, I've been with them for like 10 years. They laughed at this guy. This guy had an RV. He lied. He doesn't have an RV. He's got a used car with Lawless America all over it.
Yeah, what year is the car?
I would say at 89.
Is it brand new?
No, it's an 89.
89? I know I'm driving a 2002, but the bottom line is I'm not bright. You know, I don't have support yet either. So,
but he took $5,000 from this girl Bill. He took $80 from a girl from a diner, and all he takes is money. I heard he's a billionaire, but if you look him up online, gotta watch out for Bill, because he walks around and he takes advantage of women sitting on their laps. He's sick. He's my. I don't want to bash the guy because we got the same concept, you know. Let's get the criminals in jail and the innocent out. And that is a quote. You need to keep that.
You're saying he's lied to you. Wow.
Yep.
I'm
audio.
What's David Irons? Does David think that you have a case against this guy?
You think
Yeah. David, do you think she has a case against this guy? Especially that I can provide supply documented proof that Bill Windsor has told me, and I can supply that she speaks, she's incoherent, that she cyber stalks him and has threatened him. I can supply the document proof. That's slander, and then the libel with the postings that she says. Does she or does she not have a possible case against Bill Windsor?
Let me say this. Bill is one of the good guys, okay? Now, he's done some dumb things, but, you know, we in the Patriot Group I seem to want to eat our own. We tend to come down harder on the who are actually on our side than the ones that really deserve it.
Well, why is he betraying her? Why did he lie to her? Based on what she said. Based on what she said
I think Bill's overworked. I read the emails, and I think that you need to be really, really nice to your volunteers, and you need to say good things about them, and certainly you never, ever should get hostile over an email. I mean, if you're going to say anything that is anything but glowing praise of your volunteers, you should say that in person. I've learned that you should be very, very careful what you say in an email because it's so easy to misunderstand it. But I'm all for people that are on our side, that are trying to do the right thing.
Well, hold on to that thought. People, before we go on, I want to play a sound bite. This is Joe Arpaio endorsing a Nazi sympathizer. The Nazi sympathizer being Russell Pierce, who again in 2004 ordained a national Nazi leader, J.T. Reddy, into the Mormon Church. Here's the proof that Arpaio has endorsed a Nazi sympathizer. And we actually have the video. Here we go. Along with the Republican majority political action committee.
It just wrong break.
And this is at the request of the Republican.
This is Sarah Joe Arpaio calling in support of Senator Russell Pierce.
Okay, there you go. You heard it, Russell Pierce. And, you know, while I'm in the soundbite mood, you know, I want to get Alison's thought to this. I want to take a diversion. You know, all this is pretty heavy, you know. We need to, well, you know what we need to do? We need to have a little bit of humor right now. I want Alison to give me, and Gloria, this is how not to treat your wife or girlfriend from a man by the name of Tony Lizgonzo. I believe he lives in Manhattan, we're going to play his actual threat to me. He actually has, we're going to play his phone threat to me on from Freedom Fighter Radio that the Columbia County Sheriff's Department has ignored, along with countless other threats from others and that speak out for people like me that speak out against government abuse and corruption. And the Columbia County Sheriff's Office is 706-541-2800. I've been threatened. He said he was going to call his lawyer if I didn't pull these down. I refuse to do so, and I won't pull them down. Here we go. Tony, what do you have to say about freedom and your wife? This is Tony Ligonzo. How not to treat your wife or girlfriend.
Screaming, pissed off. Right, you're finishing what I'm doing with payment. So you're behaving like a woman that's like controlled by propaganda to stop me from what I'm doing. Okay, that has something to do with what I'm doing right now. No, fuck the dog. I want to talk about freedom. Stop stopping me. Stop interrupting me about that. You're interrupting this. Why are you interrupting this? Are you an illuminist? Right, so don't interrupt me. Don't interrupt me.
Okay, Alison, your thoughts. Your thoughts. If that was your boyfriend doing that every day or every night, would he be on the couch or out the door?
Oh my God. You did tell me humor was coming in here. Oh my God. Who was that guy?
Well, his name is Tony Ligonzo. He's one of the American Resistance.
Oh my God. I can't tell where.
It gets even better. It gets even better because. No. Yeah, here we go. Wait, no. Here's his threat to me. I've been wanting to play this. Here's his threat that he threatened me. Here we go, people.
I'm going to show Dave.
Okay, here we go. This is Tony Lagonzo of Manhattan, New York, threat to me. You're on Freedom Fighter Radio.
Well, let me tell you something. I know what you fucking did, you bastard. I'll show up with 10 armed men there. You won't be able to do nothing about it. You're going to shotgun it. They're going to do a damn thing, cuz. When you're barking up the wrong fucking tree, I will fuck you up. And that's a fucking promise. You replayed this message.
Anyway, I've been threatened with a lawsuit if I don't take it down. Well, I refuse to take down this threat from an alleged FBI informant. Anyway, I did tell you that humor was on it. Let me ask Gloria real quick. Gloria.
Yes.
What's your thoughts of how he treats women?
Well, I kicked him out the door, you know.
You'd kick him out? You wouldn't give him a second chance?
Women, you got to have no tolerance for that, because if they continue to badger you and continue to beat on you, it's not good. Your self-esteem.
Well, you know what will happen? You'll end up like J.T. Reddy, who is supported by Russell Pierce, and Russell Pierce supported by Arpaio. You'll end up dead, like J.T. Reddy's girlfriend and her 15-month-old baby girl. You'll end up dead because Reddy had a history of spousal abuse. That's what will happen. Mm-hmm. That is what will happen. But obviously,
I have to agree with you. Jim, you're 100% right. Whenever you're threatened with a death threat, it scares you. I mean, I've been on YouTube, and people death threaten me by, like, putting me under the ocean and tying cement blocks because I'm against Arpaio. You gotta take some of this stuff serious.
What do we do when the sheriff's department doesn't take that threat along with other email threats and they do not want to investigate? Now, what would happen if that same audio was directed to the sheriff or Obama or the governor? Dave?
You go to the media. You go.
Well, the media don't ignore you. So you know what I do? I sit back with my 45 and my 223 and my AR-15 and an AR-10 sitting within arm's reach, and I wait for these bastards to show up, and I make sure I have some extra large garbage bags for them. That's body bags essentially. That's what I do. But anyway. I can't get the sheriff's department, the Columbia County Sheriff's Department, to do anything about it. My home has been shot up more than once. In fact, people can Google gunshot precedes NAU protests. It's a World Net Daily article where my home was shot up as well. And my county doesn't take any of this serious. That's Columbia County Sheriff's Department.
Well, it should be taken serious, and I think that we need something to be done. I mean, someone needs to listen. Maybe a major motion picture.
Yeah. Well, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to expose things.
Backspin. Okay.
Yep, backspin. We're going to talk about backspin in a minute. We got Central and North, whatever. You're on Freedom Fighter Radio. Go ahead. Caller, go ahead. Okay, okay, well, I'll mute them. They don't want to speak. Yeah, tell us about Backspin, Alison.
Backspin is about a based on true story movie. I wrote a book, and it just tells the story of what the visuals in Tent City. I think that it will tell the American public, and I've been to film festivals. And the Europeans are more apt to dislike Sheriff Joe Arpaio. I've publicized this so much. Backspin is going to be a very simple movie. Like someone could maybe win the Academy Award if they get the part. I had Reese Witherspoon. I told you that, but it's you show the tense, the visuals of the abuse. You show the cockroaches. You show the mice. You show Sheriff Joe taken down on his pizza with Entertainment Tonight.
Well, who's going to play Sheriff Joe? Who's going to play Sheriff Joe?
Tom Mallory.
Oh, okay.
Okay. I had to name his name because he's one of my best friends.
Okay.
He looks exactly like him.
Mm-hmm.
I like Lara Houston as the lead. She looks like me when I was 36. You know, when it went down. She's an actress, and it depends on the budget. If we have a $2 million budget, we could do the whole movie in 30 days. Definitely Stuntman Randy. Man, he's in it.
All right. Cool.
And you're in it if you want. I don't know. I think that since I did the auditions and I've done 39 documentaries, Michael Manning is the wrongful death attorney for the death of so many people in the lawsuits. Michael Manning he doesn't pick up the phone for anybody. He picks up the phone. He picks up the phone for me.
Well, why do you think it is that so many so-called conservatives are backing Airpile? I mean, we know that veterans today, Michael Harris, we know Clay Douglas, we know the Arizona Tea Party, the Fox News, the Republican Political Action Committee. All these people are backing Russell Pierce. And in fact, Mike Harris, again, I want to stress for you people just now joining the stream, and I'm going to call him a liar. Liar. If I'm slandering you, Michael Harris, I dare you, I double damn dare you to sue me for slander because you, Michael Harris of VeteransToday.org, claimed falsely that J.T. Reddy was not a Nazi. I guess marching with a swastika doesn't make you a Nazi. Holding up a banner of Hitler doesn't make you a Nazi. I guess praising Nazi Germany and denying that Hitler killed 6 million Jews doesn't make you a Nazi. People, the Nazis are working with the Muslims to destroy this nation. Go ahead.
Sheriff Joe is either in the mafia or I know he's got nepotism in all the media. Channel 5, Channel 12, Channel 15. I don't care.
Well, he hasn't got all the media, Alison. Well, how about Phoenix News Times? He hasn't gotten control of the Phoenix News Times yet because they're the ones that came out. No, they came out.
They're the only ones.
Right.
Do you know who was in my trial? Was Paul Rubin. And my judge went wacko. His face turned purple. I don't care if you get Walter Cronkite in my courtroom.
He's dead. He's burning in hell now.
And this is my courtroom. And he had to leave the chamber because he went wacko because the Phoenix News Times was in my courtroom. Judge Michael R. McVeigh needs to be his law license needs to be bye-bye.
Absolutely. I don't know why we got all these people. We got all kind of people streaming, and they don't want to talk. I guess they're streaming on the phone. Caller Arizona, you're on. Go ahead. Probably Airpile boys, or maybe other people. I don't want to say, So, anyway, again, there is a guy by the name of Perez. Is he not?
Oh,
Randy Talk to me
Perez.
about Mr. Perez. Talk to me about him.
He is the best. Oh my gosh, he got rid of he's trying to get rid of Arpaio. He got rid of
Russell Pierce.
What's the guy's name that you were talking about earlier?
What?
Russell Pierce. No,
yeah, Russell Pierce, the guy that ordained Nazi into the Mormon Church. Yeah, Russell Pierce.
Randy Pierce got him. He's gone. He's a goner. He lost his job. In Michigan, you can't do that. You can't get rid of a governor. You can go hold up signs, but
you can recall him.
It doesn't happen. This is the
You're
first.
Right. I'm not saying you can try, but it won't work. But go ahead.
Russell Pierce got recalled because of Randy Perez is my hero. I wish that he was on the show tonight.
Well, we'll do a special show on Perez's movement against Air Pile in Tent City. Before we wrap it up, does Gloria, you, or David have anything that you would like to say before we wrap it up?
Yeah, I do.
Gloria?
Yeah. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. I just like to say that, we're looking for attorneys. We have 3 things that are happening with my son's case right now. I didn't really get to speak on everything, but we do have a lawsuit challenging any attorneys out there that might be able to help us pro bono. We are fundraising for, trying to raise the funds. The appeal is going to be ended on the 28th, and we're working desperately to come up with an attorney. We got the attorney, but he just needs the money. So we have new charges that have come out against my son, and those are pending. It's a cold case from 2002 that Mesa PD has charged with. And so it's not ending there. They're continuing, and now they want to put him in prison for 70 years for those charges. And they're trumped up charges. The DNA says it's not my son, but the public defender has refused to do anything, telling him you need to take the plea deal. So it's
a plea deal. Yeah.
Never take a plea. Never take a plea.
Never take a plea, right?
Go to Nancy Grace. Gloria, go to 48 hours. I've known you for 4 years. You auditioned for me. Your son is innocent. And I'm telling my friend David right here that works in Michigan, this doesn't happen in Michigan. You need to go to the media. You need to go not just to the Phoenix New Times. You need to go to Nancy Grace, like she said she was going to take your show. I'm so proud of you.
I tried to get on New Times, but Mr. Lemons will not return my call, and so I'm not sure what's going on. Everybody's busy,
He's paid off. He's paid off.
Yeah, they don't want to hear it, and so, but I'm just so thankful that the people have prayed, our family has been praying, and we're just believing it's going to happen, and just by the grace of God, though, Andrew Thomas and his associate Lisa have been disbarred.
Lisa Allen.
Lisa Archibald.
Okay.
Well, Gloria, go on. Is there anything else before we leave? I'll let you go on. Tell us more. If there's anything more that you want to talk about your son, by all means, share it now.
Okay, I have a letter here from him, and this is,
go ahead and read it. You can read it. Go ahead.
Read it quickly. It says, "Hello, my name is Anthony G. LaPointe. I am 28 years old. I'm half Navajo of Tuba City, Arizona, half Sikangju Lakota of Rosebud, South Dakota. I have an 8-year-old son named Elijah. My girlfriend's name is Christina. They are both waiting for me to come home, as well as my family and friends. Currently, I'm an inmate within the Arizona Department of Corrections. My number is 817-3379. I'm serving a 24-year sentence for a crime that was self-defense but is made to look like I was the perpetrator. It's based on untruths. I received 10 years for count 1 and 14 years for count 2. The Commissioner Newell ordered I serve these sentences consecutive instead of concurrent, meaning I serve one sentence first and start the second sentence upon completion of the first sentence. Murderers get 7 years or less for their crimes. I will be 44 years old when I am released. My son will be 24 years old. He will never know his daddy. Even now, he doesn't know my family, even though there is a court order in place that he visit them. This is all due to a corrupt system that we call justice. I am a victim of a crime. I am currently still being victimized. I am in search of justice, my family's justice, and above all, justice for all. Justice for the victims of the system and justice for those who do not have a voice. In some way, or whatever that may be, we the people must remain victims, must not remain victims, but become victors. We must be heard, and we must all speak in unity. We must speak for those who are unable to be heard. The truth is a vital virtue to the ends of justice, and that virtue must be honored. We must expose this corruption as we seek the truth. This system does not abide by the truth, integrity, nor dignity, and we are all victims one way or the other. In my case, I witnessed and assisted a lady who was being attacked and stabbed by her enraged, drunken boyfriend. I was attacked by him while trying to protect her. I suffered tremendously and was injured severely in that process. My girlfriend at the time and I retreated into our home to call for the police. The man comes back into my home unwelcome and to finish the job. He terrorized my girlfriend and I had no choice but to defend our lives in my own home. So I am found guilty by a jury, not of my peers, not one Native American on the jury, but 80-year-old conservative white men and women. Witnesses who were favorable to my case were threatened and chased away by the infamous Andrew Thomas, who, as of March 2012, was disbarred for corruption and unethical violations. Thank God. Vital exculpatory evidence was destroyed along with my 911 call for help. The jurors did not hear or see that I was in critical condition and that I had self-defense wounds on my hands. Witnesses who heard me screaming and yelling for help, and most importantly, they did not hear the truth. All of this was deliberately and illegally suppressed by the state under Brady versus Maryland. I have a very strong case and a high probability for a reversal. But as we all know, the halls of justice are painted green, and it's the money that does the talking. The stories of the innocent being wrongfully accused are true. I never ever dreamed that I would fall prey to a situation as this. An innocent man falsely accused and convicted. My life has been taken from me. Again now, I am again being falsely accused of another crime, probably in retaliation for pursuing justice. My family and friends have set up 2 accounts for my legal defense fund. One is at Wells Fargo Bank under the Anthony LaPointe Legal Defense Fund, account number 65312918828.
Say that again one more time. Excuse me. I hate to interrupt you reading the letter. Say that account again and where. Say it very slowly. Say it again.
Well, it's with Wells Fargo Bank under the Anthony LaPointe Legal Defense Fund, account number 65312918828. The second account is with PayPal, also under a website currently being planned by family and friends, and my heart pours out with gratitude for these tremendous efforts. Thank you all for joining our struggle. Please, I pray you find it in your hearts to assist my family and I. Those of you who are reading or listening to this and can relate, just understand that we are all connected by this mosaic. I encourage us all to help one another or someone who may need your help. I urge you to let your voices be heard and to contribute your generosity, compassion, and be connected to bring justice for all. Anthony, a.k.a. Tony. So that's the letter I received from him. But I would also like to encourage the readers and the listeners out there that if you don't have the means to contribute, you know, but it would be nice if you did, because there's people like Alison, there's people like Jim here who are, and Randy Perez in Arizona, who are leading the people of Arizona called We, the Citizens for a Better Arizona. These people are putting themselves out there, and they need your help. They need your donations. And if you cannot donate, these warriors who are out there fighting for justice and putting their life on the line, and if you cannot do that, then please pray for these people.
Absolutely. We all need prayer.
Right. Like I told you, Daniel and Sarah, he did mine pro bono. And if it hadn't been for Daniel and Sarah, I don't know what I would have done.
But I challenge any of you out there who are possibly attorneys or who are looking to donate to a great cause. We have a family organization called the NAI Unity of Hope that I started back in 2003, and it's all for helping the people. It started out to be for Native American inmates. However, recently it has gone up to other races. I don't discriminate. I advocate for medical, religious, and everything that I can help with. I get a lot of calls. I have a lot of letters from inmates. They call me mom. They call me auntie. And I am very proud and willing to help, but it does take a lot of money and effort. So, you know, people are out there. They're doing everything they can to help. There's another organization in Arizona called David's Hope, who is doing so much also. They're trying to help people who are depressed and who are emotionally disturbed to have treatment and rehabilitation instead of being thrown into a hostile system where if they're talking to themselves, people start kicking them around. People start beating on them.
Yeah, abuse. Yeah.
They're outcasts and they're treated horribly. And a lot of these people, even my son is bipolar and he's depressed. And when, you know, they get in there, they stop their...
Who wouldn't be bipolar?
They stop
split
their...
personality. It's like a split personality. It's like a Jekyll Hyde, you know?
Yeah,
I know, but what happened to Anthony?
Had nothing to do with him being bipolar.
You never know if he's really bipolar or not. If
you're okay, you know, now he's so, you know, they took him off his medication, and we always told him, you're okay, you really don't need that, but he always said, yeah, I gotta have Wellbutrin. I mean, and he didn't really follow, you know, how he should have done things, but he made these bad choices because of his illness, and even now he has no meds.
Well, we got two more callers from Arizona, Allison. Hold on, let me see who these are. Hang on, let me see. Arizona, go. You're on. Go ahead. Arizona? Okay, let's try Arizona. Go ahead. Go ahead, Arizona. Okay, I guess they don't want to speak. Well, anyway, God bless you. Go ahead, Alison. I was trying to give these people a chance. Go ahead.
The one thing, when you're put in jail for 23 hours a day in solitary,
yeah, you go crazy.
And you come out in 12 to 8 to 2 months, you are going to come out with some mental problems. And when people make fun of me and they say, oh, I'm not coherent, like Bill Wallace, you know what? Put him in Tent City for 30 days and put him in solitary confinement. And then I want to talk to him. And that, you know what? I'm so sick. I raised my daughter. She's got a 4.0. She's going to U of M. And I think that these people, they've ruined my career of tennis. I still play. But, gosh, you put a normal person like Gloria's saying, her son, and you call them bipolar, anybody would be bipolar.
Yeah, anybody would snap. Well, guys, we're about ready to wrap it up here, and we hope to have you ladies back. David Irons back. We hope to have a future show with Mr. Perez on the show. Alison and Gloria get us set up on that in the future. And before we wrap it up, Thursday night, people. Go ahead, Alison.
Thank you for having me on your show.
Well, God bless you. Thursday night, Charles Heller, Executive Director of JPFO, will be talking about gun control, gun rights, the Second Amendment, and how gun-free zones create target-rich environments. Good night. God bless. You've been listening to Freedom Fighter Radio, man. Check our site out. That's right, freedomfighterradio.net.com. The armed infidel crusader against the Borg, the beast organized religion of government, and any other satanic death cult that would destroy our liberty. Good night, and God bless. We'll be back Thursday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Pacific.